Greetings nerdy list aficionados and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Today we're talking House of X. But before we do, it's important to note that this series just launched at the time of this recording, so we're going off of what is available right now, information that is. So things could change drastically over the course of this and Powers of X, which is being co-released, and well, you need to read them in tandem. Also, of course, if you haven't read any of it yet, spoilers, but get ready because people anticipate this is going to change the status quo, which excites me, but I've been reading comics long enough to be a bit jaded whenever people say that. So few things really change. I'm Sasha and these are the top 10 House of X facts you need to know. Let's get started. Number 10. Continuity. So comics for the most part, barring giant company-wide resets, are operating on a continuous timeline, with us suspending our disbelief vis-a-vis characters' ages and the timescale events would have had to occur in. However, House of X is not a retcon or reboot, and instead has been described as a relaunch with no reboot. So what does that mean? Well, basically it boils down to that the universe is being reorganized and concepts re-explained, but the timeline continues on. So this is now the official true version of what happened. So everything can continue on, we just now have this different view of the X-Men. It's interesting and works, because the X-Men, despite being integral, can also feel very separate, especially as they were deprioritized for over a decade because of film rights issues. Number 9. Omega Mutants. So one of the things this run has done is give an official list of Omega Mutants, along with their power classification. So who's Omega and what can they do? Arguments about who is Omega have been going on for years, and this won't stop them. Though it will lead to those arguments that make those outside of nerd culture hate us all. Canonically, these are the Omegas. There's no room for discussion. Okay, bye. Yeah, we can still discuss. There's just now an official list. This has been fun for a lot of readers because they feel it's given characters who deserved it their due, and also portioned down the amount to a more manageable level. Not that anyone can really manage an Omega. People are really thrilled for Storm, but everyone has known Storm is awesome for years, and she's always been respected. She was leader of the X-Men for years in the 70s, and fans loved it. It was around the same time Captain Marvel, the actual second one, Monica Rambeau, now Spectrum because Carol jacked her title, was leading the Avengers. Number 8. Franklin Richards. Speaking of Omega level mutants, Franklin Richards, aka Powerhouse. That name. Please let him realize and grow out of it. Franklin appears as if he's going to be a linchpin in this story. In issue 1 of House of X, there was a confrontation between Cyclops and the Fantastic Four. It's a verbal one, but one that lays the lines very clearly. Mutants versus everyone else, and only natural-born mutants, so the Fantastic Four, cosmic rays don't count. However, one of the threats that Cyclops makes is that Franklin Richards belongs with them rather than with his parents, because he is a mutant while they are not. You know, again, despite them having powers and also people hating them at times, mostly because of Reed. So basically they're segregationists. Mutants on Krakoa, humans everywhere else. Separate the families, the whole 9 yards. Also they want all mutants, even criminals, which brings us to number 7. Number 7. All are welcome. One of the events in the first issue of House of X is an attempted robbery by Mystique and a couple of her cohorts. When the Fantastic Four stop them, this is what leads to the confrontation with Cyclops, because he wants to take them to Krakoa. This is because he believes that all mutants belong with their own kind, dealing out their own justice, away from the biased system of Homo sapiens, even if they're criminals. Doesn't matter. It's a freaky concept, but one that feels very realistic. This whole story just has this general sense of unease, and the X-Men are so othered, but by choice. It's really interesting so far. Number 6. Mutant supremacy. The mutants in this tale are not interested in living side by side with humans, not anymore. They want their own nation, their own space, and they also want to take their place as the dominant species. In this tale, mutants are coming to outnumber humans as the next step in evolution, and if things continue on track, they'll just be wiped out. But in the meantime, the X-Men of Krakoa have a very adapt or die approach, and all manner of ethics involving their powers is thrown out the window. Like the chilling scene where telepathy is just used to read the minds of all the visiting diplomats. It's a chilling reminder of just how powerful mutants can be. I warned you about telepathy. This was in our superpowers no hero should have video, aka let's be paranoid for 12 minutes straight. Number 5. Genetic engineering. There are some intriguing new mutants that have been seen in Krakoa and House of X, as well as on some of the covers. Based on the pods hatching mutants inside Krakoa and, well, general information, it is clear that genetic engineering is at play and that mutants are being spliced for the best combinations. So Mr. Sinister's paradise. In fact, there are fan theories popping up, and some are already off the chain. I read one that Charles is actually Sinister. It's gonna be interesting to see how these hybrids play out in the future, as this tale is set to span 3 timelines, the past, the present, and the future. It feels very Dune, where you're charting the progress of a concept and not necessarily the people. Number 4. Interconnected runs. Jonathan Hickman is a veteran at Marvel and has written several runs runs for various teams, the Fantastic Four, the spin-off Future Foundation, the Avengers, and this tale falls into continuity with them, or seems to. There are threads and plot points from these previous runs littered throughout, and the characters' relationships feel in line with that as well. So this story is unabashedly a comic book story, and while if you missed out on any of these runs, there's more to check out. There's also a lot of homages to Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, including how mutant evolution is going. Also, Hickman loves Zorn, multiple Zorns everywhere. Number 3, their own language. One of the things the residents of Krakoa are quick to note is that they have developed their own language. This is as part of their bid to develop their own culture. It's just projected into the minds of mutants who come to Krakoa, and while people in the real world out here are already trying to decode it, cracking that cipher. Maybe one day it'll be up there with Klingon. People will write it on their walls, speak it at their weddings. We'll see. It depends how the mutants are depicted in this run, cause it could get real rough. It is visually interesting, and fans are loving this detail. Number 2, multiple timelines. As mentioned earlier, there are many theories floating around, but one of the most in line with Hickman's past work is the multiple timeline/universe theory. So this is the theory that what we're seeing is not occurring just in one universe, but is instead occurring across multiple at the same time. So we may not even be dealing with our X-Men. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. It would be very comic booky if this were the case. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Do you have any theories so far? If so, please share them down below. Enough different ones and maybe we can compile them to a special fan edition top 10. I love theories. I don't care how outlandish they are. And in at number 1, it's unadaptable. So these days there are a lot of adaptations coming out, and many of them are doing well. We're seeing rarer and more indie properties adapted, some that aren't even finished or successful in comic book form. So this comic is unique in that Hickman could care less about whether the story is adapted or not, and instead is concerned with telling a cool comic book story, because if you don't focus on good comic book stories, then what is there to adapt? He very much rejects the idea of comics as a stepping stone to other media, and instead embraces the concept of them as a unique, amazing medium, which they are. I don't know if the world will be ready to see the X-Men this dark. I mean, it'll be a while till we see the X-Men again anyway, according to Feige, so we'll see. So those were some House of X facts you need to know. So far it's been interesting. Let's hope it's not something that peters out. I'm Sasha, and thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.